The great crystal hall drifted through the emptiness between stars like a shimmering island of light. Its walls, carved from luminous mineral that pulsed like a living nebula, bathed the chamber in soft indigo glow. Around a vast oval table, crafted from condensed starlight, sat representatives of a dozen mighty civilizations. They had convened many times before, but never with dread thickening the air the way it did now. Council Prime Vexer stood at the head of the table, his emerald scales reflecting the room's glow as he paced restlessly. In more than 3 centuries of leading the Galactic Council, he had presided over wars, plagues, and political upheavals. But he had never summoned an emergency session with urgency bordering on panic. "Delegates," Vexer began, voice echoing off the crystalline walls. "We face a problem unlike any we have encountered." Ambassador Crix of the Hegemony, a squid-like being whose tentacles writhed anxiously, shifted in his seat. He'd been the first to sound the alarm, and even now, he seemed uncertain whether he truly believed the information he was carrying. "Please repeat to the Council what you told me privately," Vexer instructed. Crix rose slowly. His usually sharp voice was subdued. "3 of our scout fleets disappeared," he said. "They were deployed to survey a small outer rim planet designated Earth." Murmurs filled the chamber. Representative Thal of the Vidian Empire leaned forward. "Disappeared? Are you suggesting they were destroyed?" "No," Crix replied. "Destroyed would mean debris, signals, something. We found nothing. Their presence simply ceased." Before the shock settled, another voice cut through the confusion. "That wasn't the only loss," said Zen, the enigmatic research director of the Collective Minds. Zen rarely spoke, but when he did, every ear turned toward him. "We dispatched 12 bioships, our finest living vessels. Their self-modifying hulls make them undetectable to all known scanning methods. Only one returned. A suffocating silence followed. Bioships were considered the pinnacle of stealth engineering, alive, adaptive, impossible to capture. If even they vanished, what did the survivor reveal?" asked Commander Yeath of the Ironclaw Federation, his harsh voice breaking the tension. Zen's black, reflective eyes dimmed. The pilot was shaken. He repeated one phrase. "They knew we were coming." Admiral Corix slammed his armored fist on the table. "This is absurd. This species is pre-FTL. Their last probe barely exited their home system. They still rely on combustion rockets." But Speaker Nala of the Void Watchers offered a chilling interruption. "Our stealth scouts are also gone." Every head turned in shock. The Void Watchers possess ships capable of passing undetected even through stellar coronas. "How many vessels?" Vexer asked. "All of them," Nala replied. 27 ships lost without a trace. The hall erupted into frantic chatter as representatives struggled to understand how a supposedly primitive world could neutralize the galaxy's most advanced technology. Vexer shouted for order. "We have already lost over 100 ships across 7 civilizations. But the worst news has yet to be addressed." Crix activated a hologram. A serene blue-green world hovered above the table. "2 days ago," he said softly, "we received a transmission from Earth, broadcast across every known frequency. In our languages, dozens of alien scripts appeared, all displaying a single message. We know you are observing us. Initiate dialogue." Thal whispered, horrified. "How did they learn our languages?" Zen answered, "From the crews they captured." A cold shiver spread through the hall. Crix switched the hologram again to a massive orbital structure circling Earth. This station was not present a month ago. It incorporates familiar designs. Zooming in revealed the terrifying truth. Components clearly derived from Vidian engines, Ironclaw weapon systems, and Void Watcher stealth plating, refined and enhanced. The implication hung heavily. Humanity hadn't just captured alien technology. They had learned it, mastered it, upgraded it. Fast. Vexer's voice finally broke the silence. "We must decide what we are dealing with, and how long we have before these humans decide their next move." The great crystal hall had been transformed into something resembling a courtroom more than a chamber of governance. Instead of diplomatic banners and floating scribe drones, the space was dominated by 3 witness platforms arranged in a triangular formation. These platforms held the only beings who had survived direct encounters with Earth, beings whose testimony would determine humanity's official threat classification. The first to speak was Captain Thrick of the Vidian Empire. His tall, slender form usually carried a regal posture befitting the galaxy's foremost experts in stealth technology. Today, his arms trembled slightly as he steadied himself. "We approached Earth with our most advanced stealth cruisers," he began, voice subdued. "Our cloaking systems are unmatched. We have monitored countless civilizations without a single incident." Council Prime Vexer gestured gently. "What changed?" Thrick swallowed hard. "They detected us long before we reached the solar system. They tracked our approach from 3 star systems away using something they called radar." Representative Thal frowned. "Radar? That crude electromagnetic reflection method? It should have no effect on our cloaking systems." "It shouldn't," Thrick agreed. "But when we modified our hull absorption patterns to counter it, they switched to infrared tracking. When we masked our heat signatures, they shifted to gravitational readings. A ripple of shock spread. Only a handful of species in the galaxy could pick up gravitational distortions from stealth ships. Yet humans, supposedly primitive, did it effortlessly. Where did they get such sensors?" Admiral Corax demanded. "We do not know," Thrick replied. But detection was not the most alarming part. He paused, tentacles curling in remembered fear. When their atmospheric craft, fighter jets, closed in, we discovered they had studied our fleet formation protocols. They anticipated our evasive maneuvers. They matched our 3-dimensional patterns as if they had been trained in deep space combat since birth. Commander Yi scoffed. "Atmospheric aircraft engaged your space vessels." "These were not primitive jets," Thrick whispered. "They had sealed cockpits, fusion boosters, and energy weapons integrated into their wings. Their pilots were fearless. They played with us, flanking us in ways we had never encountered." Zen of the collective mind stepped forward next. "Our experience was different," Zen said, their voice echoing with the eerie harmony of a hive intelligence. "We sent 12 bioships, vessels that think, adapt, and live. Their neuroorganic hulls make them invisible even to advanced artificial sensors. And," Vexer asked, "the humans captured them." The chamber erupted before Zen raised a hand, and silence returned. "They immobilized our ships using electromagnetic nets tuned precisely to bio-neural response frequencies. They understood how to disrupt our living hulls without causing lasting damage. That knowledge should be impossible." Zen's eyes dimmed. "Our crews were not tortured. Humans simply talked. They asked questions, showed images, compared patterns. Within hours, they learned our language, our structure, our tactics. They understood our thought processes better than some of our own subcolonies." A collective shudder rippled through the delegates. Then the third witness, Commander Yeath, stood. The Iron Claw Federation were feared across the galaxy for their ruthlessness. But Yeath appeared shaken, his proud stance wilted. "We launched a fleet of 50 warships," Yeath said, 2,000 elite warriors. "We expected an easy victory. And what occurred?" Vexer asked carefully. "They knew our arrival time. They knew our formation. They knew our weapon distribution." Silence clamped down like a vice as Yeath continued. "They waited until we approached their planet. Then their orbital station engaged us using weapons we recognized. Our own, except improved." "What do you mean improved?" Admiral Corax growled. "Their plasma cannons were more precise and used less energy. Their missiles tracked with flawless accuracy. Their defensive plating resisted every frequency we tested. They had taken our designs and corrected weaknesses we didn't even know existed." Yeath leaned heavily on the railing. "Our retreating ships were hunted by vessels moving faster than light, without jump drives, without warp corridors. They used a method of FTL travel we could not identify." The council froze as Yeath uttered the final line. "Before my ship escaped, we intercepted their communication. A simple transmission. Phase 1 complete. Prepare Phase 2. A heavy dread filled the chamber. The implication was clear. Phase 1 was only humanity's defense. Phase 2 would be their advance. Dr. Lee Hyun walked briskly through the underground complex hidden beneath Seoul, an enormous labyrinth of reinforced corridors, laboratories, and hangars carved deep into the bedrock. The world believed this site was a seismic monitoring facility. In truth, it was humanity's primary alien research center, built in secrecy during the 5 years since the first unidentified probe entered the solar system. He stepped through a pressure-sealed doorway into the main laboratory, a cavernous hall filled with alien artifacts, half disassembled machinery, and dozens of scientists working at various stations. "Status update," Li Hyun called out. Captain Park Soo, studying a tactical hologram, saluted. "We are currently holding 17 alien captives from 7 species. They've been cooperative since we clarified our intentions." Li raised an eyebrow. "And what version of the truth did we give them this time?" Park smirked. "We told them we don't want to harm them, but we can't release them until we understand why their civilizations keep violating our space." Before Li could respond, Engineer Kim Ray hurried over, her gloves coated in shimmering alien residue. "Doctor, you need to see this. Vidian stealth plating. It's not as advanced as they make it seem." She gestured to a set of hull fragments arranged on her workbench. "They bend electromagnetic waves, yes, but only within a narrow frequency band. Our radar worked because we were broadcasting outside their coverage range. So our detection was essentially a lucky accident," Lee mused. "Not entirely lucky," Kim corrected. "Humans diversify tech out of habit. The Vidians specialize and never question their solutions." Lee moved to another workstation where Kim had been studying Ironclaw weaponry. "And their plasma systems?" "Raw power, but sloppily managed," Kim said, tapping a diagram. "Their magnetic fields are unstable. We increase efficiency by 30% with basic optimization." Lee smiled faintly. "That's humanity's greatest strength. We experiment first, ask questions later." Next, he approached the corner of the lab, where Dr. Yoon Jin and a team of physicists were surrounded by holographic schematics of faster-than-light drives. "How's the FDL integration going?" Lee asked. Dr. Yoon didn't look up from her calculations. "We've isolated the core operating principles behind 3 alien FDL methods. None of them are exceptional on their own. Can we merge them?" Her eyes gleamed. "We already have. Vidian jump metrics, Ironclaw power distribution, and collective bionavigation combined into a single drive. It should outperform the fastest alien vessel by a factor of 10. Lee exhaled slowly. 10 times. That changes everything. The arrival of General Cho Bin interrupted his thoughts. The general strode in with a team of officers behind her, all business. "Doctor," she said, "we need to discuss our response. Intelligence indicates the Galactic Council is preparing a multi-species assault force." "How many ships?" Lee asked. "Best estimate, 1,000, possibly more." The lab fell silent. "We can't survive that many ships," Lee said quietly. "That's why we can't wait for them to come to us," General Cho replied. "We strike first." "With what fleet?" Lee challenged. "We've barely begun assembling." Kim Ray cut in with a grin. "I think it's time he saw the hangar." They passed through a series of blast doors until they reached a vast underground hangar. Lee halted, stunned. Dozens of sleek hybrid vessels, part metal, part organic matter, stood in perfectly aligned rows. Their forms blended human aerodynamic logic with alien curvature and bioadaptive materials. "We've been busy," Kim said proudly. "How many are functional?" General Cho asked. 50 fully operational, she replied. More in production. Human pilots partnered with alien-derived AI systems. Dr. Yoon stepped forward, and all equipped with the new FDL drives. General Cho activated a holographic star map, highlighting 3 alien facilities within 50 light years. "These sites coordinated attacks on us," she said. "We neutralized them simultaneously. Fast, precise, minimal casualties. Get in, grab intelligence, disable capabilities, and leave before counterforces arrive." Lee studied the map. "This is the first offensive mission humanity has ever launched." "It won't be the last," General Cho said. "But we're sending a message. We will talk to anyone, trade with anyone, but no one will bully Earth again." Lee nodded slowly. "Then let's change the galaxy." The countdown to humanity's first interstellar strike had begun. Admiral Nam Wu stood on the command deck of the flagship Soul's Pride, watching stars stretch into luminous strands as a hybrid ship engaged its upgraded FTL systems. The vessel thrummed beneath his feet like a living creature, part machine, part bioengineered organism. Humanity had created something the galaxy had never seen. All units, report readiness. Nam Wu ordered. Navigation Officer Kim Min responded first. Fleet formation stable. ETA to target Alpha, 37 minutes. Communications Officer Park Hannah followed. Strike team at target Beta, standing by. Cyber unit for target Gamma has established link protocols. Nam Wu nodded. 3 targets. 3 very different objectives. Yet the fleet held together like an extension of his own will. Target Alpha, a Vidian research facility studying exotic matter. Target Beta, an Iron Claw forward military base. Target Gamma, a collective minds hive node operating as a communications hub. Each would test a different frontier of human capability. We're approaching the first target, Tactical Officer Yunsera reported. Their scanners still haven't detected us. Nam Wu allowed himself a small smile. Deploy infiltration team. Beneath Soul's Pride, the infiltration craft attached like a shadow and glided silently toward the research station. 12 elite operatives sat inside, led by Sergeant Baeyong. Their craft was built from a fusion of Vidian stealth, Ironclaw hull penetrators, and collective neuralink systems. Technology no alien species had ever imagined combining. We're inside their perimeter. Baeyong whispered over comms. Beginning silent docking sequence. The Vidian scientists inside carried on with their research, unaware of the craft attaching itself to a maintenance hatch. The station's weak security systems posed no challenge. Within moments, the infiltrators slipped inside. Security grid disabled. Corporal Shinya reported, moving to command center. Human boots echoed through the sterile corridors as the team advanced with precision. Within minutes, they confronted the Vidian researchers, who froze, stunned by the sight of armed humans speaking perfect Vidian dialect. No one will be harmed, Sergeant Bay assured them. We need only your commander. Meanwhile, Target Beta was erupting into chaos. Colonel Odin commanded from the bridge of Busan's Hammer, the lead warship in the assault group. Unlike the stealthy infiltration of the Vidian station, the Ironclaw base required brute force and relentless precision. All ships, begin bombardment. Odin barked. Human vessels decloaked in tight formation, unleashing hybrid weapons that fire with terrifying efficiency. The Ironclaw were known for their overwhelming aggression, but they had never encountered humans who treated the battlefield like an evolving puzzle. Enemy shields holding but unstable. Reported weapons Officer Choi Mira. Target the instability. Section 7. Odin ordered. Alien shields collapsed exactly as predicted. Boarding shuttles launched through the breach with flawless timing. Inside the Ironclaw corridors, warriors roared and charged with ferocity. But human squads fought differently. Fluid coordinated, reading each other's movements like an orchestra. Where an Ironclaw warrior expected one opponent, they face entire teams moving as a single organism. They're strong, Major Kim Seo called over comms, but predictable. Secure their command chamber, Odin replied. Alive, if possible. At Target Gamma, the battle took place not in metal corridors, but inside the collective's vast neural data field. Captain Lee Jun oversaw the cyber warfare vessel Mindseeker, where specialists sat in biolink chairs surrounded by holographic streams of alien information. Begin neural breach, Lee Jun commanded. Dr. Lim Hay initiated a sequence of pulsing data waves. We are interfacing now. The collective's network felt alive, like a thinking maze. Their nodes shared information with organic precision. Traditional hacking would be useless. Release the confusion algorithm, Lee Jun said. The virus was a uniquely human creation, one that didn't destroy data, but overwhelmed the hive with conflicting signals and contradictory instructions. For a species dependent on perfect harmony, confusion was lethal. Multiple hive clusters entering decision paralysis, Lim reported. Pathways unstable. Begin data extraction. Information poured into human systems. Maps, FTL specs, military networks, protocols. Before withdrawal, Lee Jun uploaded a final message into the heart of the hive. Humanity seeks peace with equals. Respect earns respect. Hostility earns consequences. 3 hours later, all missions concluded. The Vidian station surrendered without casualties. The Iron Claw outpost was secured with minimal losses. The collective node lay intact but disoriented. Humanity had struck, and the galaxy felt the tremor. The Galactic Council chamber felt different now. Heavier, tense, as though the crystalline walls themselves understood that something irreversible had happened. Delegates from 12 civilizations gathered once more around a radiant starlight table, but this time fear overpowered formality. Several seats remained empty. Their governments were still wrestling with the aftermath of the human raids. Council Prime Vexer struck his staff against the table. This emergency assembly is now in session. But the real shock waited at the center of the chamber. A human stood there. Captain Lee Jun of the Earth Diplomatic Corps carried himself with calm confidence, as if he belonged in the most powerful council in the galaxy. On his left stood Security Chief Bei Wan, her posture relaxed yet unmistakably ready for combat. On his right was Dr. Lim Hay, holding a datapad rumored to contain more technological insights than the council had accumulated in centuries. The sight of them was enough to stir outrage. "You requested this meeting," Vexer said formally. "The council recognizes you as the first official spokesperson for the species known as humanity." Lee Jun bowed slightly. "We appreciate the opportunity." Ambassador Crix nearly exploded from his seat. "Opportunity? Your people invaded 3 of our secure installations. You have violated galactic protocol on an unprecedented scale." Lee Jun's voice remained steady. "What protocols?" "Earth was never informed of them. For months, your ships entered our system without permission. You monitored us, surveyed us, abducted crew, yet we were never asked to participate in your laws." Representative Thao scoffed. "You have no territory. You have no recognized sovereignty. You are a developing species, barely adolescent by galactic standards." Lee Jun smiled faintly. "And yet, we defended ourselves effectively against 7 spacefaring powers." The chamber burst into overlapping shouts. "Order!" Vexer boomed, though even he seemed shaken. Commander Yeath rose, still humiliated from the destruction of his fleet. "You stole Iron Claw weapon systems and reverse-engineered our military platforms." "We refined them," Lee Jun corrected gently. "Your plasma cannons wasted tremendous energy. Your armor had structural flaws. Your targeting arrays lacked predictive algorithms. Our engineers found the inefficiencies and improved them." Admiral Corix snarled. "Our technology has been shaped by millennia of warfare." Then perhaps Dr. Lim Hay finally spoke, her voice soft but cutting. "You should have spent some of those millennia upgrading your designs instead of recycling them." The chamber fell silent. She activated her datapad. Holograms blossomed above the table. Alien starships, weapon schematics, FTL models, highlighted with red marks showing weaknesses and blue marks showing human improvements. "Your stealth fields are outdated," Lim explained. "Your FTL drives waste energy. Your networks collapse under basic paradox loops. Humanity found solutions within weeks because we approach problems differently." Speaker Nala leaned forward, fascinated despite herself. "How is it that your species progressed so quickly?" "Because humans never stop disagreeing," Lee Jun replied. "Conflict, debate, and competition pushed us to innovate constantly. We do not cling to tradition, we challenge it." Vexer took a long breath. "What exactly are you proposing?" Lee Jun activated a new hologram. "Maps, trade routes, diplomatic pathways." "Earth seeks membership in the galactic community," he said. "Not as a subordinate, not as an underdeveloped species, but as an equal." Crick slammed his tentacles against the table. "You expect us to elevate a species that has been spacefaring for less than a century?" "You've seen what we accomplished in that century," Lee Jun replied. "We have proven we can defend ourselves. We have shown we can advance technology beyond your current capabilities. We prefer peaceful cooperation, but we will not accept being treated as prey or curiosities." Commander Yitha's voice trembled with controlled fury. And if the council refuses? Li Jun didn't hesitate. Then nothing changes. You continue violating our borders. We continue responding. But our patience will not last forever. Security Chief Baywan added, and we know how to escalate. Peace is our preference, not our weakness. Slowly, the council members exchanged uneasy glances. They were frightened, but also intrigued. The potential benefits of working with humans were impossible to ignore. Representative Thal stared at the holographic improvements. What guarantee do we have that humanity won't expand aggressively? The same guarantee you give us, Li Jun said. Mutual deterrence. Vexer finally spoke. We will deliberate. Your proposal is unprecedented. Li Jun nodded. Take your time. But remember, other human ships are already exploring nearby systems. Misunderstandings happen quickly when communication is delayed. Dr. Lim placed a small device on the table, a quantum communicator. Instant contact across any distance. Zen's eyes widened. That technology has never been achieved. It has now, Dr. Lim said. As the human delegation departed, the chamber remained silent. Every representative understood the same truth. Humanity had forced its way on the galactic stage, not through conquest, not through submission, but by proving they could no longer be ignored. The galaxy had entered a new era, and Earth was no longer a distant, primitive world. It was a rising power. Days passed across the Galactic Council's territories, but the tension lingered like a slowly approaching storm. Word of humanity's coordinated strike spread rapidly across star systems. Rumors escalated faster than official reports. Stories of human warships outrunning FTL cruisers, of entire bases falling without casualties, of hybrid technology surpassing the greatest galactic inventions. While diplomats and officials debated behind closed doors, the common citizens across dozens of worlds whispered a new question. Who are the humans, really? Captain Li Jun stood aboard Sol's Pride as it drifted in high orbit around Earth. The blue planet gleamed below, peaceful, deceptively ordinary. Yet within its cities and hidden bunkers, humanity was rapidly evolving into something the galaxy had grossly underestimated. Dr. Limhay approached him, datapad in hand. Council responses are finally coming in. Li Jun folded his arms. And a mix, she said. 3 species want immediate diplomatic talks. 2 are requesting technological exchanges. Several others are increasing military spending. Baywan smirked from across the bridge. Can't blame them. We gave them the fright of their lives. Li Jun nodded thoughtfully. Fear was never the goal. Respect. That's what we needed. And now, for better or worse, we've earned it. Before Lim could respond, the holographic projector activated. An encrypted transmission. Council Prime Vexer requesting secure communication. The ship AI announced. Put him through, Li Jun instructed. Vexer's form flickered into view. Tired, uneasy, but trying to maintain composure. Captain Li Jun, Vexer began, the Council has reached a preliminary consensus. Li Jun remained silent, waiting. Vexer continued. We acknowledge that humanity has demonstrated capabilities beyond initial evaluation. Therefore, Earth is recognized as a sovereign world. Baywan raised her eyebrows. That's a start. But Vexer added quickly, full membership in the Galactic Union will require negotiations, treaties, and trust-building measures on both sides. That was always expected, Li Jun replied. No empire was built in a day. No alliance is forged without patience. Vexer exhaled slowly. Your actions have forced us to reconsider many of our assumptions. Some representatives still fear your species. Others see opportunity. Both are reasonable, Li Jun said. One matter remains, Vexer said. The raid you conducted, capturing installations, data, and personnel. We request a return of prisoners and stolen materials. Li Jun exchanged glances with Dr. Lim and Baywan. Once we have formal agreements, Li Jun said carefully, we will release captured crew. As for the technology, what you call stolen material, we have already integrated it into our systems. We cannot unlearn what we have learned. Vexer's expression tightened, but he nodded. We expected as much. Li Jun leaned forward. Council Prime, the humans didn't start this conflict. Your civilizations chose to treat Earth like an unclaimed resource. We defended ourselves as any sovereign world would. Vexer hesitated before speaking again. The Council invites a formal delegation from Earth to discuss integration. Li Jun smiled. Then we accept. The transmission faded. Dr. Lim exhaled. That's it. The galaxy can no longer deny our place. Baywan chuckled. Imagine telling our grandparents that humanity would one day negotiate as equals with alien empires. Li Jun looked out at the stars. Humble beginnings, dangerous potential, endless curiosity. That's what defines us. Meanwhile, far beyond Earth, in a quiet corner of the galaxy, a small listening station belonging to an unknown species intercepted fragments of human transmissions. They were low frequency, distorted, and incomplete, but the meaning was unmistakable. Human fleet expansion entering Phase 3, testing long-range hybrid propulsion, preparing deep exploration beyond the map sectors. The station commander replayed the fragments with growing alarm. Phase 3, he whispered. If this is only the beginning. His assistant stared at the hologram of Earth. What do we do? The commander spoke quietly, almost reverently. We prepare. The humans are coming, for knowledge, for diplomacy, or for conflict, and they will not stop at our borders. Back on Earth, Li Jun watched the sunrise from orbit. This is it, he said softly. The galaxy just opened its doors. Baywan stood beside him, and we're stepping through. Not as conquerors, Li Jun added, but as equals, ready to defend, ready to learn, ready to reshape the future. The hybrid engines of Soul's pride hummed with quiet anticipation. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, and the galaxy would never be the same again.